All right, welcome to another great episode of Transformed and Renewed. Hope that you're doing great today. And if this is your first time, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to make sure that you are staying up to date with the latest content. And if you're returning, then you already know what time it is. We are going to have a great session. Again, if this is your first time, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because you do not want to miss a lot of the content that we come out with on a weekly basis. You want to make sure you tune in to that, okay? So, we got a great topic as always, and I wanted to give you the best value. So, tonight we're going to be talking about really understanding if you have been overspending, when it comes to food claims. This can be whether you are buying groceries or even if you're out at a restaurant and you may see different claims, whether it's on commercials, different advertisements. Has this caused you to overspend? And most people don't realize it. And one thing that led me to really think about this, actually, a couple of things, is as I was recently looking at just different websites, restaurant websites, and just looking at some of the claims, it has always interested me in terms of thinking about, okay, different restaurants or even companies make claims about certain food products. And sometimes you don't really know exactly what is in the food product that you're consuming. And I think it is a kind of like a great exercise for anyone to do is if there's a go-to restaurant or food product that you like to eat, it's important to always look at the nutrition information on that product as well as just the ingredients to really see if you're getting what that food claim statement is pretty much saying. And again, kind of off topic, but it is related to, what we will be talking about is, when it comes to people spending money on different things. One thing I think about is you may have people who fear being robbed or, fear being carjacked by somebody that's trying to take something from them. But one thing I thought about was, you have so many companies that, you know, can pretty much take from people. And I'm not going to say rob, but, people end up, giving to companies, not realizing that they are, just being robbed themselves because they associate a statement with another perspective that wasn't necessarily true. So let's dive into it. And with me, you may not see it, but it's this grape jelly. And on this grape jelly it shows made from real Concord grapes. Okay. So one thing I really want to break down is because this is really going to make you really rethink how you have approached a lot of situations. It's not, me trying to attack any company. Again, no disrespect at all. But, I really want us to really be more aware of how we perceive things because sometimes we can end up assuming something that's really not true. So it says made from real Concord grapes. Okay, that's a fact because it does show Concord grapes as the first ingredient. The truth, however, is it's not made only with Concord grapes. It's made with some corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, fruit pectin, and some other ingredients. So if a person says, hey, I want to get just real grape jelly, like made from real grapes, well, you get it, but you may also get some other ingredients that may not really be helpful or beneficial to you, in the process. And for this reason, the product is made because of certain factors such as taste, smell, appeal. Without that, then you may have a lot of grapes, but it may not be as texture pleasing. Okay. And so it's important to realize that a lot of consumers may, feel like, hey, this is what I would like. So I don't forgive me if you may see me adjusting my camera, but a lot of people may say, this is what I would like to see in a food product. I want to get the real stuff. Sometimes you may see claims about real ingredients. And again, not picking on any company, not trying to single any company out, But I do know that, just for instance, I know Subway has the claim of eat fresh. And the way I really broke this down, and hope this, you know, can really resonate with you, is when you think about the statement eat fresh, a lot of times people think, okay, I'm eating fresh, which means I'm eating, real ingredients, fresh ingredients, ingredients that I understand. Again, not necessarily the case, because eating fresh, again, I'm gonna give you this example. This grape jelly, okay? This is sealed shut, which means that it hasn't been tampered with, ideally. So if I open this, that means that it's fresh out the jar. And you can actually market that it's fresh. Sometimes people may say, well, that's not really fresh, that's canned. Okay, I'll actually go a step further. You could have maybe some apples, okay, and you cut them and they're fresh. However, the fact is that they have been cut fresh. The truth is, those apples could have sat for a month, okay, and it was just enough cut off for you to really get to the good part of the apple. Is the apple fresh itself? You may beg to differ, but was it prepared fresh? I mean, of course. I mean, it was sliced. I mean, nothing had been done to it beforehand, such as no cutting had occurred. Otherwise, it would have, started browning. And so that's just an example of when you hear different statements such as eat fresh. Are the ingredients themselves, does that mean that they are whole? They're not processed? Doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means that your product or whatever food that you're ordering, it was made fresh. A difference between made with real ingredients. Even it's just a lot of terminology that when I've done my research and just really understood it, again, from a business standpoint, I understand why, but I still don't agree with the practice, because it can be misleading, but it is that thin line that, again, because a lot of people do not question, companies end up getting away with a lot. And again, you may not see a lot that would occur from that until you see different lawsuits that people had. And I think there was one with a company where a product was supposed to be a certain size, and it was actually a couple of inches less than what it claimed to be. I think it may have been Subway, but again, not trying to throw any company on blast, but I'm just giving an example. So I was on this website. You can go to, what I want you to do is think about your favorite fast food restaurant or food product. And what I want you to do is, in your free time, whenever you can, do it, because I don't want you to take my word from it, but I really want you to understand, if this is something that you say, hey, I really want to be more informed about these statements, because I could have really been spending an extra $200 a year, or even, over the course of 6 months, because I thought that I was getting something. In actuality, that was never the case. So I want you to do this exercise, and again, go to your favorite restaurant website, or whatever food product you like to eat a lot, or some food products that you would like to eat a lot. Go to that website, wherever you can find information on that product. If you're going to a restaurant, likely if it's like a, a national chain, such as a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, and these actually have the nutrition information on their websites, you could actually go to their webpage and you find information that shows nutrition, or you may have to navigate to the menu. But once you click on that menu, just click any item, random item, and it will show you information such as the caloric information about the calories, total fat, protein, sodium content, cholesterol, etc. And it will also show you the ingredients. Now, some of them, they actually spell it out in terms of the ingredients in each food product. So down from the meat to the toppings, such as the vegetables, even, additional toppings, whether it's nuts or even, dried vegetables or fruits. or even sauces, they will identify all of those, pieces of information for you. And what I want you to do is really look at that information to really gauge, okay, what do they claim that you are getting? And then I want you to really compare it to what you actually see. Because again, it's kind of like a technique that a lot of restaurants use because again, they know that the average consumer is not going to take the time to look at information. They know that the information that they provide is only useful to those select few, but they know that the masses don't really care about that information. And even if they did, they know that they're going to keep coming back and supporting them. And again, I'm not trying to deter you in any way, but I do want you to be aware of if you're saying, hey, I want to improve my nutrition, or I want to really eat certain foods, or I want to really be more savvy when it comes to shopping to really ensure that I'm getting the best deal. Well, this is going to be one of the steps, and that is really being more aware of what you're actually purchasing and consuming, and you know repurchasing and reconsuming, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, if you were to do that exercise, you may find some things interestingly, and it may even prompt some additional questions about, okay, what else have I really been buying that I thought I was getting this type of benefit, but in actuality, it was never the case. I give you another example of if you eat dairy, you may see some claims that may show made with real milk or made with real cheese. But again, just like this grape jelly that shows made with real grapes, that's not all that that food product is made with. Again, like for instance, cheese crackers or even chips. Not that these are healthy in comparison to like fruits or vegetables, but if you were to really think about it, is that all that you're really getting from that product? Is made with real cheese? Is that all you're getting, or are you getting some artificial flavors or colors that are gonna also spruce it up? And you may say, this cheese tastes good. Well, it's not the cheese by itself. It's the flavors that's enhancing that cheese, or it's some of those salts that are bringing more flavor out, and it's causing, you to say, man, I just can't stop eating this. And that can really start to mess with your your psychology, like your mental mindset, because you end up eating certain foods and you keep continue to buy them and eat them because again, this is how labels can really lead people to doing a lot of things. So kind of rambled a lot, or I talked a lot about really seeing past a lot of the food statements. Again, not to say that any statement is bad, but there is a difference between the fact and the truth. Again, using the example of this grape jelly, the fact is that it is made with real grapes. The truth is, it is not made only with the real grapes. There are some additional ingredients that you may be consuming that may not really be helpful to you long term. Again, that's a may not, because only you know what's best for you and what will really help you. So, hope that this information you find helpful. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, or make sure that you, um, share your comments with me, because I want to make sure that you get the best value. So, again, when it comes to this information, I want you to really, feel free to email me, jerry@robotic.com, or you can just send me a DM, um, to our webpage, and I will definitely help you with any questions that you have. Again, I know this may be a lot of information, but when I first started looking into this information, I find it helpful versus finding it, man, I can't eat nothing. And actually, there are actually a lot of foods that you can eat, and seasonings and different sauces that you can still eat. It's just a matter of retraining your palate and really being more aware of what's available that's going to provide you with more of a nutrition boost. So, like fruits and vegetables and like different sauces. Some may be 0 calorie, which is the best, but some may have a small amount of caloric information, present with them. The thing about it is making sure that you are, really diversifying your palate with nutrient dense foods. Okay, and again, make sure that when it comes to, what you buy, that you're really paying attention to those statements. Ask yourself some questions about, okay, if this is really made with this ingredient, why does it have this in there? Is this really helpful for my body long term if I'm going to be a repeat consumer? I don't think that is a question that anyone should avoid. So recommend that you ask yourself that question whenever you go shopping and whenever you go out to eat. So again, I hope that this information you find helpful. Again, make sure that you like and subscribe to our page at Robody1212. And also make sure that you continue to support us because we have some great content coming very soon, some updates, because we can always use updates, here at Robody1212. So again, hope that you enjoy this and I will talk with you later.